I'm out of storage.
That's all right.
Go for it.
You go ahead. You're hosting.
So, welcome everyone to the Minnesota Spirit Hunter Spirit, and today we have Lucy from Ohio. How are you?
Good. Hi. Thank you for having me on the show.
Thank you. And this is Casey, my co-host.
Hello.
Hi. So, what part of Ohio are you from?
I currently live in Lancaster, Ohio, which is Fairfield County. I'm about 5 minutes down the road from the amazing Fairfield and County Infirmary.
Okay.
Nice.
What got you into paranormal?
I've always been really interested in it. I have slowly recently come into my abilities for the past 8 or 9 years. I am an empath. I like to use that word because it's kind of an umbrella for me. I also can see and communicate with people who've passed on. So it kind of goes hand in hand with the territory. So it makes it really interesting for me to go into locations and do stuff. It's pretty cool.
That's
Same
awesome.
here.
So, tell us a little about the locations you've done and stuff.
I would have to say, so the most recent location that I did with a group that I ended up doing a private for at the infirmary and connected with was Father John's in Bryan, Ohio. And that was a really cool location. So it was an old church back in the day, but the person who bought it kept the church, and underneath the church in the basement is now a bar and grill.
Oh,
So,
cool.
and he's been collecting, yes, very cool. He's been collecting like different religious artifacts from like Tahiti and Tibet and India, just all over the world, and bringing all of these cultures and religions into one space. So you can just imagine the energy that comes with that alone. It was a really, really cool building. Just, even if I go into a location and I don't pick up on anything, or we can go and not have any activity whatsoever. I also like the history and the structure part of different locations, and it's pretty cool. Um, I've been to Ohio State Reformatory, Middle Point School in Middle Point, Ohio. Been to Broadwell Funeral Home in Felicity. I've done Poasttown Elementary. I've done, of course, the famous Moonville Tunnel in MacArthur. Prospect Place, Old Licking County Jail, the Octagon House in Circleville. It's another cool location. And then, of course, the famous Fairfield County Infirmary.
Very cool.
Yeah.
What kind of equipment do you guys use there?
When I do locations, I usually have a REM pod. It's a homemade REM pod that my husband built me. And it looks like it's a wooden box, and it just looks like an old piece of furniture. And I get really good feedback, and I think it's just because they can relate to that because it looks old. Usually, I don't. I'll either just use that or a mag light or cat balls. Because me and myself, I am my own personal equipment, so I kind of just go by my feelings and what I'm picking up on. Not all the time will spirits show themselves to me, so it could take me a while just being at a location for them to come forth, and then I start making connections. And I've even had little kid spirits play hide and go seek and stuff with me. It's pretty cool.
Nice. Very cool. Have you ever had any spirits talk with you or talk, to your name or anything?
Yes, all of the time, constantly. I could be at Kroger's and they get my attention. I have learned how to shut it off and control it and set boundaries. So, like if I'm grocery shopping or something and I'm standing next to somebody and somebody's grandma's trying to come through, I've learned to set that boundary and say, I'm busy right now, but if you want to come back later, we can have that conversation and figure out what you need to say.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So let's see. What is like one of your favorite memory? Like, what is your favorite location that you like? And And do you have a team?
I currently don't have a team. I kind of am just like a little free bird. There are groups out there that want me to come and do stuff with them or just hang out with, and we end up doing stuff. My favorite location, hands down, is the infirmary here in Lancaster. I have connected with one particular spirit in that building, and his name is Zeph Musser. Mr. Musser was the superintendent for 18 prominent years in the building. So I've kind of made that personal connection with him to the point where I visit his grave now, and he talks to me at his grave. I've been in contact with his great granddaughter, and she showed me pictures and have told me stories about the infirmary and stuff of when he was superintendent. So for me, that one is a little personal as Superintendent Musser.
Got it. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see. So have you ever wanted to investigate with the team?
I'm always up for investigation. It just depends on drive time. I'm not the investigator that wants to drive 20 hours and spend all night, turn around, come home, because I've done that before, and it's kind of sleepy. But yeah, I'm always down for investigating with teams, and there are teams out there that like to get a couple mediums together. And my theory in that is you can take 12 of us mediums and put us all in one room. We're not going to all get the same thing. We're going to all get different stuff, but come together and build this picture. So just because a female spirit is coming through for one person, it could be a male for me. And you also have to take in consideration the different layers of history. So like the infirmary, it's almost 200 years old. So it's so many different layers of history. The Octagon House in Circleville, it was moved from its original location over behind the Walmart, and it has different layers of history. Father John's has layers of history. So it just kind of depends on what we're all getting. I love to be with other people that are like me because I can bounce off them, and it is easier for spirit to come to me when there's other energies in the room. So it's pretty cool.
Very nice. Let's see. I gotta figure out what other questions to give you.
No, you're fine. He kind of threw you to the wolves. Yeah.
I know Marcus is such good at this meeting.
That's all right.
Yeah.
So when did you start? Like, what age did you start paranormal?
Very young. So growing up, my dad would take me to cemeteries to ghost hunt. And I would always see stuff at my old house, and I was the type of person where I didn't see anything. I would just pretend like nothing was there because I didn't want anything bloody or scary to come through. Until a couple of years ago, when I woke up one morning and there were 4 spirits at the end of my bed, all trying to get messages through to whomever it may have been. And one gentleman was a car accident victim, and he was decapitated in his car accident, but he wasn't scary when I seen him. And he is the first one that made me laugh. I asked him, I said, "Can I ask you a question?" He said, "Of course." I'm like, "Why aren't you all bloody and scary?" He's like, "Sweetie, we don't come to you like that." I was like, "Oh, okay, good." And then ever since then, I've kind of just opened myself up completely because I don't want to see nothing scary. I'm good.
Yeah. So with my team, I joined in August of this year.
Nice.
Yeah. So Casey and I are the only ones from Wisconsin.
Okay.
And all the other ones are from Minnesota.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, you forgot somebody from Washington.
Oh, yeah, and then we also have a general manager from Washington as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so basically, we have a group of 5, 6 of
Something
us.
like that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. So, and we always have a good time. There's plenty
Yes. Yeah.
And it's like a big family.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's my favorite part about investigating. The paranormal world right now is kind of spicy, and it's all it's all like who's better than who or whatever, trying to one up each other. But for me, it's not that. It's just hanging out. Like I said, we could be at a location all night long and not get anything, and nothing come through for me. As long as I'm hanging out with people that I really enjoy being in the company of, and we're laughing, that's all that matters to me, because that's good for the soul.
Right. Because we were at a location in like near South Dakota, like in Minnesota, and it was like an overnight one, and we just like basically it was like a big family. We just sat and talked and ate pizza and investigated.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was great. It was awesome. And then when
Kind of
Marcus
sounds.
then when Marcus said it was time for bed, we went to bed and got up at a certain time, and we wrapped up around 11 o'clock, and away we went.
That's awesome. Kind of sounds like me and my friend Kayla. I have my best friend Will also investigates with us. My best friend Melissa, but my other friend Kayla. We were down in the doctor's office at the infirmary one night, and nothing was really happening other than the usual. And my mag light was sitting there, and so was an EMF. And I would tell them, I would say, if you would turn it up to red or something, we'll have a dance party. And every time it turned to red, I would start dancing and singing. And she's got that on video because that's my thing. I love to dance and sing and just have a good time during an investigation.
Very nice. Let's see here. Is there like a funny moment that you've had when you were investigating?
Other than just hanging out with friends, not really. Just we spent my birthday at the infirmary overnight, and we were playing kickball in the hallways. And it was kind of upsetting some of the men because, at the infirmary, the men and women were separated, so they have their own wings. It was kind of making certain men upset, but then the other men thought it was completely hilarious. So it's just kind of fun to be able to integrate spirit with the physical world when you're even having fun.
Right.
That's awesome. Have you ever you said you've had your name mentioned a couple times? Or all
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, especially in that building. They like to say my name over spirit box. And I've even brought spirit home with me. I've brought people home from locations. My husband actually brought somebody home from the oldest cemetery here in Lancaster, and his name was Elijah. And it was just really weird because when he brought him home, he became attached to me, and I had him for a couple months to where it was like he was protecting me. Come to find out, because I'm nosy, so I need to know the logic behind whatever's happening. So I started doing research, and I found out there was an Elijah buried in that cemetery, married to a Lucy.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Do you have any spirit guides?
No, I've not learned how to tap into my spirit guides yet. I have another friend. His name is Matt. He told me that I have hushed my spirit guides for some reason, so I've not learned how to tap into that and get them to start talking. I don't know if just like that part of my brain is shut down because my abilities are more stronger than whatever that may be, but I can't even meditate, because I can't get my brain to shut down long enough.
Yeah, I know, because there was one investigation that we did, and another one in Minnesota, and I think it was like in October, and all of us were at the location, and all of a sudden Marcus says to me, he goes, "Hey Beth, I need you upstairs." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, someone's calling for you," and it was a spirit, and I was like, "Okay, now what do I do?" And they're like, "Just talk to him."
Well.
And it was really
that's awesome.
Because everybody was talking in the background, and it was like it was so hard for me to concentrate.
Yes, I completely get that.
And I guess Casey was telling us that he heard a female scream outside too.
Oh wow. Those always creep me out when the screams are just like random. Those creep me out.
Yeah, but no, each investigation we've been on has been a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And for me, that's what it's about. It's not only connecting with the people that you're with. It's just connecting with the spirit world. I mean, I like to try to integrate both of them every day. And for me, it just makes me a better person. It makes me a stronger person in whatever I may be doing.
Gotcha. Let's see. So, I don't know, Case, do you have any questions or anything?
Um, Not really, but speaking of Elijah person that you're talking about, I had the
Mm-hmm.
same thing. I had the same thing happen to me, but totally different story. Like I had a spirit come to me asking me for if I wanted a drink for 3 weeks straight. 2 weeks later, I investigate a winery nonetheless,
Mm-hmm.
and that spirit was from that winery,
Wow.
and it happened to be the gentleman that had built that location,
That's
and
awesome.
his name is Elijah.
Oh, okay.
He told me,
That's
like,
pretty
oh,
cool.
yeah, he
Yep.
was like,
So him and I became, I guess you could say, good friends. And actually, come to find out, he is my spirit guide. So I can't wait to.
That is awesome. That is awesome. And
So,
I've had that stuff happen too. Um, I sometimes get visions a couple days before I go into a location, or I can grab an object and get images. I am also really good at photo reading. So you can send me a photo of somebody who's passed on, or even
oh,
your living room, and I can read that photo and tell you who's in it, what they want, what they're feeling. I pride myself when I connect with spirit because I mainly like to say names. I won't give messages unless they tell me their name. That way, you know I'm real and that's who I'm connecting to.
I'll have to message you afterwards.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you and I, yeah, we'll message you afterward. It'll be
Yeah,
kind of
that's
fun.
fun. You guys can add me and all. Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Yeah, I bet Marcus would be very impressed.
Yeah. Yeah,
But,
I actually had that happen once before. Me and my best friend, Daff, we were going up to West Virginia Penitentiary. And I told her, I said, there's this museum of the afterlife I want to hit on the way because I'm your total tourist. Like on the way to Bobby Mackey's, we stopped at Saddamsville and I just had to touch the doorknob because I'm your typical tourist. So, 4 days before I was getting this image of this mirror just with this golden border and I couldn't figure out why. It was in my dreams. And sure enough, when we got to the Museum of Afterlife, behind a door, here sat this mirror. Well, I
mm-hmm.
have a video of me just filming myself in this mirror, and right above my head is a little girl's head. It's like she breathes on it, and her head turns above mine. Come to find out, in the middle of this room in a glass case is a Dr. Seuss's The Foot Book, and it was in a
Oh,
little girl's room who was murdered, and that's who was trying to get to me and give me
Ooh,
messages.
wow.
Yeah,
that's cool. Wow. Um, let's see. Have you ever toured and have you ever investigated in other states?
I have not. Other than the West Virginia one, I have not.
Wow. You had to come up here to Wisconsin. We got
Yeah,
some.
well, you have to
Yeah.
come up to Wisconsin.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Absolutely.
Can't
Um,
forget Minnesota too.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
we gotta. We're going to a location in Wisconsin with our team in a couple weeks.
that's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, we can't say too much of that location.
What's that?
We can't say too much of that location.
No, because we've never been there. So
Yeah. Now, are you guys see like for me when I want to
Yep,
know the history, I want to cold read the building. Are you guys like that too?
I am. I
Yeah,
can remote. I can remote read for
yeah,
if
I've
they
never
want.
that's
done that.
If they want to talk.
I don't know. I don't know what that means, so I have no clue.
just kind of like not getting any history or any names and just walking around the building and pretty much getting your gut instinct or if something comes through.
Yeah, because I'm a case manager and an investigator.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, and it was funny because I was talking to Casey. I told Casey and Marcus at the one location. It's like no one was talking to me. I had no idea what to do, what to say, you know. You know, it was my first time, and they're like, just be yourself. I'm like, yeah, that's just not cool. Yeah, I'm just too quirky, that's all.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right. But no, but I guess they called.
So,
Yeah, they called my name a couple times, and then another person, and then the other location we were at, I guess someone called my name again, and I'm like, but was like, okay, but I think they knew I was there, but
Yeah.
you know,
almost every location I've been to, except 2, have I had my name called more than once. I was like,
That's
okay.
cool.
yeah, so
Yeah.
so yeah, it's been a lot of fun since I've joined.
Yeah, that's awesome. You know, like I said, right now the paranormal world, it's always drama in the paranormal world. But for me, I do it for fun. I do it for
Yeah.
me. I don't charge for readings. If spirit is coming to me and there's a message I need to give somebody, there's a reason, and you need me to give you that message. I'm always the girl in the background. I don't like to be filmed. I don't like, you know, you can ask my friends, I very rarely take photos and videos, even when we are at a new location. It's very rare that I even do. So I'm just the girl in the background that just is wanting to be me and have fun.
Right. I don't know.
What major locations do you want to go that you haven't been to yet?
Oh, Lord. My ultimate goal would be Waverly and Trans-Allegheny.
What's that? My headset went out again for some reason.
Waverly and Trans-Allegheny.
Oh, top of my list too.
Yep.
Yep, top of my list.
Yeah, I don't know, like, with my locations. Oh gosh.
There are just so many.
I know.
Right?
I would like to go to Florida.
I actually live in a haunted house, or my apartment's haunted, the whole building.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't find that out until I moved in, but yeah.
on my bucket list, I would like to go back to Florida, and I would probably want to do maybe California.
St. Augustine, yeah.
Yeah.
I wanna do
Winchester
St.
Mansion.
Augustine.
Oh, yeah.
I've never been out. I've been to California, but I've never ghost hunted out there.
Well, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I've been to San Diego.
I want to do St.
21.
Augustine. I want to do St. Augustine.
Yes. Yeah, I've heard really good stuff about St. Augustine.
That's one on the top of the list.
Me, I just want to go anywhere. I could be driving down the road and by a cornfield and there's no decapitated house or whatever, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if it's haunted. We should go.
Right?
Yeah.
That
Right.
reminds me. There's plenty of cemeteries around here. I'm like, oh, I see one. Is that one haunted? That one haunted? That one haunted?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
We do have one that actually is haunted, but
Yeah, we do. We have one that's haunted in town.
Wow.
Mhm.
yeah, there's
He's
an
been
old story.
I've
I've been there a couple times. There's actually I was there with a friend of ours, and I ended up being drawn to the military section.
Mhm.
To a grave. I would never even knew this person. I'm like, geez, interesting. Weird.
Yeah.
That could be told a different time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never investigated a cemetery, so I wouldn't know what to expect.
Yeah. Believe it or not, for me, cemeteries are my quiet place. They just, there's been a few times where they say hello or hi, and then they just usually just step back and watch, wondering what I'm doing, or because a lot of them don't know that I can connect to them because I like to walk in cemeteries. So, and actually, we're gonna go cemetery hopping when the weather breaks.
Nice.
My
Are you
front
guys
yard was
getting
actually.
snow over there?
When
Are you guys getting
I
snow
lived,
over
Yeah.
there?
yeah, you get the
Yes.
snow.
Yeah.
It tried to snow earlier. There's been some hail the past couple days, and some rain, and it's just cold.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, we have 50s and 60s coming up this coming week.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a big snowstorm. Well, to me it was big, but yeah, it was. But now, like today, a lot of the snow melted.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite? So you like the REM pod is your favorite? You would
Yes.
say.
Yeah. I would say the REM pod. Actually, I take that back. Maybe it's the mag light.
Mhm.
Do you have like any like body cameras or any other like devices?
We have just a regular camcorder, an EMF. We have a voice recorder. I have one of those green grid thingies. We don't have a lot of equipment, because like I said, when I go in, I pretty much can pick up on whatever may even be there. Um,
Right.
yeah, I'm not big on equipment.
No, just
No.
your.
That's not mine.
That's a millimeter.
That's
Millimeter.
awesome.
It's a millimeter REM pod combo.
Okay, I've seen one of those. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
And then,
Mine.
like, I've seen people use dowsing rods, but I'm a
Mm.
pendulum person. I like pendulums.
Hmm.
Very nice. Let's see what else. I don't know. Marcus is usually so good at talking around.
No, you're good.
Let's see. Oh goodness.
Have you guys ever encountered, like, the demon or something evil at any of your locations?
I
No,
never have.
I have not either.
I never
But I
have.
know one of our team members has a Ghostbusters van.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, because the one location he brought it and he had the lights going and everybody stopped because it was like a procession.
That's awesome.
Cool. Yeah,
Yeah, because
everybody.
I know the demon word is getting tossed around a lot. And my theory is on that is until a demon can toss me up in the ceiling and make my head spin around, I'm not going to believe. I believe that when we pass and we go on the other side, we do still have emotions and we do still get attitudes. So who's to say that that's not somebody on the other side with an attitude? You're
Right.
sitting here like, make the REM pod go off, and you're saying it 50 times, but they're trying to tell you to get out of their space. So what do? They reach up and scratch you, or they're trying to get your attention, and
Yep.
that's where I think the whole this is a demon. No, you're just irritating them. They're just angry.
Right.
Over the last 2 years, I've learned that if you go into a location with a negative thought or negative attitude, you're gonna get that from them because they're gonna feed off it. But if you go into
Yep,
positive,
100%.
if you go in positive, whether it's a prison, asylum, they're gonna pick that up too, and they're gonna be more positive with you. So
Yep, 100%. It's no different than a Ouija board sitting down to a Ouija board. A lot of people don't like Ouija boards, but for my view, it's a divination tool. It's no different than a REM pod, an EMF, a voice recorder. It's no different than me as an empath or a medium. We're all divination tools, and we're all trying to use those tools to speak to the other side. So the Ouija board is no different.
right, no,
Right. My grandparents had a Ouija board, and yeah, let's just say I after that thing moved, I took off running.
Mhm.
Well, I was only like 8 years old at the time, and
Yeah, that's understandable.
my cousins.
No,
I don't know why, but my cousins decided we were gonna have a séance,
Hmm.
and I'm like, okay. And they wanted to call people from the dead. I'm like, ooh,
Mhm.
this is not gonna be fun. And I just took off running. I'm like, okay, I'm so done.
And now you're walking into locations and trying to talk to them.
Yep.
Yeah, but when you're 8 years old and you don't have no clue what's going on,
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
yeah. So that was probably one of the funniest moments out of my grandparents. They lived on a farm,
Okay.
and yes, and they've always told us stories about someone getting hung out in the barn, and we always went out there to check, and they're like, we don't see anybody. No, that was a long time ago. Oh, because you're that curious type, person,
Yeah.
which was
Yes,
me.
yeah.
But no, yeah, I've had, let's see, my grandma passed away in 2011
Oh, I'm sorry.
from dementia and Parkinson's.
Oh,
And then this year, yeah, my cousin who just turned 40, she passed away from suicide.
oh, I'm so sorry.
She basically took a gun and
Oh,
so yeah, it was a very, very hard couple months. And
yeah,
this
I bet.
and the one next to me basically is my rock.
Yeah.
He's helped me through it so much.
That's awesome. It's awesome to have people like that in your support team. I have my husband, I've been married 20 years, but I also have my best friends, Melissa and Will. They're my little protectors as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really cool because if I'm at a location with any of them, because Will is also, Melissa has no abilities. She's just there, which is awesome.
Right.
Um, but Will is also an empath like I am, and my husband can see spirit and light. So if a spirit is standing next to me, he can. It's like a ball of light or a tall thing of light. It's really cool. But if I'm ever at a location and they feel like something is trying to suck my energy or hurt me, they put like these really weird protective barriers over me to where the spirit can't get to me. It's weird how it makes me feel. That's why sometimes I know that they're doing it. I'm like, will you stop, please, just so I can see what's going on. But
Yeah.
Right.
yeah, it's really awesome to have a support system and be able to go into locations and have people that are there to watch your back. When I do
Yeah.
my energy work, I usually have somebody watching me because I shut down all of my senses and I push my energy out in front of me and as far as I can. So they feed off of that and not me directly. So while I'm under, I always have somebody watching in case. Because there's been a few times where I've started acting weird and my best friend Melissa's had to pull me out of it because it was getting too much.
Yeah.
So
I would rather not get possessed.
Right. Right.
so is there like so before an investigation, is there like a ritual that you do, or
Nope, I go in completely guns loaded and completely wide open. Yep, and I never ground myself, which there's a lot of people that have yelled at me about that, but I never ground myself because in my eyes, it's just keeping my brain working. It's just keeping me stronger. And that's how I've been able to bring some of them home. But they'll be home with me for a day or two, and there was a little old man that I brought home one time, and he loved cooking, so he would just stand in my kitchen and talk to me about recipes. He was there for like a week, and then he just went on his way. And I was like, okay, well, that was nice to have.
Right.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. I've
Um.
only had one follow me home, and that's Elijah. But now he follows me.
Oh,
He. I don't have to worry about going in any location because he's right there. I don't even have to say that.
yeah.
He's just right there.
I don't know if I have a spirit guide
Oh, you
yet
do.
or not. I
Everybody does.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's like trying to talk to them, but it's like I don't know. Like they don't usually
Yeah,
talk.
me either. I'm completely lost on it. Mine's probably drunk, shaking her head somewhere.
No.
like I usually tell Casey, I'm like, I think my grandparents are, because they usually like to push me as far as I can go. but
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I don't, they haven't talked to me, so, I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I get that.
Because I'm kind of new to the spirit guide stuff, so I don't know.
Right.
So, yeah, because I've been only in it for a couple months. Almost a year. In August, it'll be a year.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It'll come to you. You'll open it completely up, and then it'll be a floodgate, and you're like, whoa, where are all these people coming from? Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Was there a time that you felt that, that you didn't want to go on an investigation?
There have been a few instances where I felt like that. um, and that's not because of location or because of spirit. And that's just because the people that were in the space, they felt like they had all this fancy equipment, that they were better than me because I didn't have any. But yet, some of the best evidence, and there are quite a few people out there, some of the best evidence came from me just standing in a dark hallway and talking to somebody versus having all this fancy equipment on you. And even if you don't have abilities, sometimes you just need to stand and be in the space and just open up and see what you feel. They like to come to you like that.
I do that all the time.
Yes, I've done a couple private home investigations where I was like, oh, this is sketchy. So, and there's been a couple times where I've come up against an angry spirit. I've actually brought one home from Moonville Tunnel. The gentleman would stomp through my dining room, and I would ask him, who are you trying to get a hold of? Is there somebody I can give a message to? Are you trying to talk to me? And he would be like, you'll find out soon enough. He did this for about 8 months. Just mean old grumpy man. I told my husband, I'm like, if I could punch a ghost in his face, I would have punched him. And then he just disappeared. I'm like, oh my God. I guess it was possible. He was just grumpy and nasty. Yeah.
I would have been like, okay, you're not the boss of me.
Right, pretty much.
Wow. Let's see here. Oh goodness. Are there any other questions you have for us?
What's your guys' favorite location that you've guys done?
Casey, you want to take that one?
For me, I would have to say this wasn't when I was with Minnesota Spirit Hunters, but I investigated. I don't know if you've heard of it, but Old Juliet Prison down in
No, I have not.
That one is amazing. That's an amazing place. That's one of the two that I have not had my name called, thankfully. But yeah, and it's big. It's a very big location. It's got almost anything you can think of in that building.
Wow.
It's got its own hospital. It's got its own dentist. It's got everything.
That's awesome.
So if you go there and you're not used to walking, your calves are going to be burning by the end of the night.
Lots of cardio.
Yep.
Let's see. With me, oh goodness, of the three I've been to, I say the second one in Minnesota because that one was widespread. It would start in a house, and then we would go outside, and we would go on a trail, like a haunted trail.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a lot of fun. It was so clear that when you looked up in the sky, you could see all the constellations. And it was in October, right?
No, I think that was November. No.
I thought it was.
Yeah, I think it was end of October.
It was after Halloween.
Yeah, right after Halloween.
Yeah, it was after Halloween. And one of the people there actually came with us in the investigation. And
that's awesome.
He would sneak off somewhere, and we're like, well, where is he? Well, he was trying to scare all of us. Well, that didn't work because Marcus opened up his big mouth and he heard us. It's like,
Yeah.
That's
really?
awesome.
Oh,
Yep. So yeah, it was to me that was probably one of my favorites, and the
Yeah.
event that we were at was really
no.
cool because I actually got to play poker.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we were playing poker with the owner of the location.
Yep. At the location, I got to eat pizza and got to stay there.
That's cool.
Mhm. Yep. Let's see. Other than that, we only went to our first investigation. We were out. It was outside. There were yeah, there was a building that we went to first, and then we went to a tunnel, and then we went to I think somewhere else. Didn't we?
It was a car car ramp, parking garage
Yeah,
that
and the
we went
parking
to.
garage too. We were at the parking garage too. And I think the parking garage was the most active that him and
Yeah.
a couple other people. It was very active.
Wow.
Yes.
And that location, they only wanted to talk to me and me
Yep. In
only.
that location, they only wanted to talk to Case, not me.
That
And
was weird.
Wow.
all the females had to leave the building, like basically leave. It's like really. It's like you're sexist.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like jeez.
Well,
But
they like to pick and choose who they want to talk to. So
yeah, right.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what I try to tell people, I can't force spirit to come to me. It's they have to learn how to pick up the other end of the telephone to talk to me, and sometimes I'll only see just their outline. Because when I first started seeing them, it would be like a fuzzy TV outline, but now I can
mhm.
see everything in detail: the color of their shoes, the way they smell, if they've got lace on their dress, I can hear them. And they don't always come to me completely fully like that. Sometimes it's still just an outline or just a smell or a voice.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, when people hear that you're a psychic medium, they're like, oh, can you talk to this person? It's like, no, I can't. If I could bring people forward, I'd be hanging out with JFK and Marilyn Monroe every single day.
right, right,
I wouldn't need
yeah,
living best friends. I would have them.
right. Well, that's why I tell people. I said because I had someone tell me they wanted me to remote read a location. I said I only can do that if they want to talk to me and tell me.
Yep.
Otherwise, I ain't gonna know nothing. They're not gonna tell me nothing. You're out of luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what you were saying is like, man, if I had to do that, I would probably go and have my grandparents hang out with me all day long
Yep. Absolutely.
because they were basically like my second mom and dad.
Oh.
Yeah, they because when I was little, I had medical problems.
Hmm.
So what happened was they gave me the whooping cough vaccine, and I had an allergic reaction, and
Wow.
it would cause my brain to stop. You know how it grows inside?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine stopped.
Wow.
So they basically took when we would go get my so we would take them with us to my doctor's appointments, and basically they were there when they told my mom that I had like 20% chance of learning.
Mm,
Basically I had to relearn everything again.
wow.
Yeah, and I was maybe, oh gosh, I don't remember. I was really little when that happened. So I
Mm,
was almost taught to toddler stage. But
wow.
they were there for me like almost all the time to help.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I could have them basically. I could hang out with them again. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because Grandpa was 80 when he passed, and then Grandma was almost 90.
Wow.
And then my great grandmother lived on Mom's side lived to be 107.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. She was pure Irish.
Wow.
No, you didn't want to mess with her.
I bet not.
No, but of course she would cheat at cards all the time. Yeah, yeah. Because my great grandma, we would play. I think goldfish and all that, and she's like, "Oh, it's my turn again." It's like, "No, Grandma, it's mine." And then when I would go look away, she would take your turn. I'm like, seriously?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and another thing that I've also learned too is, like you'd mentioned, your great grandma had passed when she was 107.
Yeah.
They don't always come to me with the age that they've passed on because, on the other side, I believe you get to choose, a time in your life or an age in your life when when you do pass on. Um, I've had 90-year-old man come to me when he was 27 because that's when he was in the war, and that was a
Oh,
time of his life that he enjoyed it. They've always not came to me, at the age that they passed. It was always another point in their life or at another age.
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, all the relatives on my mom's side were all farmers.
Wow.
Yep. And then on my dad's side, they grew up like widespread throughout the United States. So yeah, it's I have longevity in my family.
That's awesome.
Yep. That's why I told them. I said I'm part Irish, German, and English, and then Bohemian and German on dad's side. So yes. So anyways, is there how can we look you up for are there any, like, if you wanted to, did you want to investigate with other teams like down in the
Oh
future?
yeah, I'd be completely open to it. Just add me on Facebook. It's Lucy Nestor, for Lancaster, Ohio. Yeah, just shoot me a message on Facebook. I'm completely down for it.
We'll have to get in touch with Marcus.
Right.
We can actually have another empath along with you and
Yeah.
Michelle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Three would be great.
Yes. Yeah, I love being around other people that are like me. Like when I met my best friend, he ended up becoming my best friend. Well, I was naturally drawn to him, just like with my other friend Matt. He's like an empath and stuff like me, and I was just like a lightning bug to a flame. I was naturally drawn to him because I don't meet a lot of men that are like me. It's always been women. So when I meet a
Right.
guy that's like us, I'm like, oh yes, you have to be my friend.
Right.
Um. Well, let's see. Anything else, Case, that you can think of?
Not really.
Yeah, me neither. um. Let's see. Is there any advice that you would like to give to people just starting out in paranormal?
Stay humble. It doesn't matter how many TikTok likes you have or how many YouTube viewers. Stay humble because that world can eat you up and you could get in the wrong crowd and completely get around the wrong people and screw yourself.
Right.
Always just keep your feet grounded. Just keep your eyes open. Always watch your own back. And just mainly just be humble. Be you.
That's what Mark is always, because I was just starting out and I didn't know what to do. So Casey and Marcus says just be yourself and just have fun
Yep.
because you never know what
There's
you're gonna.
Yeah, there's just too much negativity and ugly in the world. You gotta put good stuff. You gotta put good juju back into these buildings, or it's not gonna be right.
Right.
Right. And that's what I learned, and that's what I've learned through 3 investigations already, and we have not missed a single one yet.
That's awesome.
We tried to make it as much as we can around my work schedule. So, so the one in May, we're heading down. We're going to we're gonna go to like near southern Wisconsin. So it'll be fun. And then
Yeah, I can't wait after you guys are done with that one. I can't wait to hear about it.
Yeah, we actually record all our investigations.
Yeah, we
for via YouTube.
Yep,
so
for YouTube.
Okay.
And then
so check it out.
I think I'm not sure when our first one comes out, but it's gonna come out soon. So.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, check us out on YouTube, and you'll laugh your heads off when you see
For sure. Yeah.
You'll laugh your head off, and we will probably have some blooper reels.
That's all right. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Right, Case?
Right. Yeah, we have ways to have fun and joke around.
Yeah, we always have a lot of fun.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. It was fun.
Yeah.
We'll have to have you come back when Marcus can actually be.
Yes, we can have Marcus.
Yeah, no worries.
I forget Marcus. He can work all the time. No.
Yeah.
So it was great having you on, and we will again.
Yes, for sure. And like I said, hook up with me on Facebook, and if anybody has any questions about anything or any advice or whatever, I'm completely open. I'm an open book.
That sounds good.
That sounds good.
Yep. Well, have a good night.
You too. Thank you for having me.
Yep. All right. Gonna end the show.
Yep, I'll message you in a few minutes.
Yep, we'll message
you. All right.
Yep.
Sounds good. Yep. Nice meeting you guys.
Yep.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.